everybody. Happy Diwali. My name is Tuli Patel. My pronouns are she, her. And for some visual clues, I am a relatively light-skinned, plus-sized woman from South Asia wearing a green sari today. A warm welcome to you all, and an even greater warmth. Yes? No, that doesn't make sense. More warm welcome. That was awkward. Warmer, there we go, a warmer welcome. An even warmer welcome to our Indian musicians today, Anshruta, Radhika, and Sujoy. Please, if you would come on to the chancel. All our musicians live locally, and you're going to hear more from them. Anshruta is a junior in Melbourne High School alongside Samir, who's doing our audio tech in the back. Usually when we begin a service such as this, there's an invocation. Today's invocation is to Ganesh, and Anshruta is going to lead us.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा.
Thank you.
Good morning. The warmest welcome to Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Reverend Robin. My pronouns are she, her. A visual descriptor for you: I am a short white woman with shoulder-length brown hair and a golden jacket on this morning. And I am delighted to be standing with and able to welcome for the first time in person our new intern minister, Pablo Vasquez.
Good morning, Beacon.
Good morning.
It's wonderful to be here with you in Summit, New Jersey, gathered on the continued ancestral land of the Lenape, and I also want to extend a welcome to any of those who cannot be on their ancestral lands because of forced movement and the like. Welcome in community with us. To describe myself, my pronouns are any. I am a gender fluid person. I have long curly hair. I'm Afro-Caribbean of a caramel complexion. I'm wearing a red and gold outfit today to fit with the colorful proceedings, and I am very happy to be here with all of you.
This morning, as we begin our journey together with Pablo, it feels important and right to begin with our covenant. We invite all of our members and friends to share in this reading, and anyone who feels called to participate in our covenant this day. And no pressure to read this. If you are brand new, we welcome you as you are, where you are in the journey, and with an abundance of love that is the center of our faith. Would you join us now in reading our covenant together?
Love guides this congregation. Love calls us daily to acts of liberation grounded in anti-racism. We affirm that we live in the complexity of intersectionality and that building healthy and loving relationships is a spiritual practice, requiring both inward and outward focus. Thus, we covenant to listen deeply, speak compassionately, express gratitude, and embrace our unique diversity. We endeavor to communicate honestly and with compassion, particularly when we are in conflict. When we hurt one another, we will try to make amends, forgive and reconnect with an intent to repair, change, and grow. Our purpose is to be radically inclusive, feed the human spirit, and heal the world. In celebration of the common purpose that unites us, and with the aspiration of beloved community before us, we will do our best to abide by this covenant.
Welcome indeed, beloved, to our annual Diwali service. And I want to take a moment to honor the immense work and coordination, the thought and intention that has gone into this service, and most especially to extend our collective gratitude to Dr. Tooley for all of her planning and work. Thank you. We rejoice to be on the journey with you, however you have arrived to be with us this day, wherever you may be connecting from in this moment. We are each to each other, indeed, beloved.
We're going to begin singing this morning by singing hymn number 118. And that happens to be This Little Light of Mine. So I invite you to rise in any way possible. That might mean standing, or it might mean sitting on your chair, or it might mean sitting on the floor. But we will sing This Little Light of Mine together. This
you, Misa. So when you enter a temple or a sanctuary, you strike a bell that's usually hung overhead to alert the gods to your presence, because you wouldn't want them to fall asleep on the job, right? So it's an announcement of like, I'm here, we're here together. Let us do this thing called darshan. Darshan literally means I have come to see and the unveiling. So our younger ones know what to do when the gong is struck. You raise your hand, and as its echoes dissipate into silence, you lower your hand. So I invite all of you to do that. You may wish to close your eyes. Ready? Thank you. And I'd like to invite forward Madan Gaunda for our chalice lighting.
Morning. We kindle our chalice, flame illuminating our paths, sacred reminder that our riches reside in relationship. From hand to hand, from ignorance to understanding, from this life to the great beyond.
So we have very special guests with us today. I'd like to invite anybody who's small and can't see in the back. It doesn't matter what your age is. If you can't see in the back, you're invited to come forward. Everybody from up top can see our musicians, yes? Okay, wonderful. So please, so Joy, we know that what you're playing, the tabla, is a percussion instrument. What is it made out of?
Thanks, Suri, for the question. So there are two pieces to it, if you see. So the right-hand side of mine is made of a wood. The body is made of a wood, and the top is made of a leather skin. The left-hand side, there are variations. Like, this one is made of a brass and metal. Many people like that to be made of a wood as well, or a mud, or a heavy metal. So I like it, keep it a light brass metal. So.
And can you tell us why there are two of them?
Sure. So there are two different levels of the sound. The right one makes more of a treble and sharp sound, and the left one makes more of a bass and heavy sound. So that mixes the two different sound notations.
And there's a black circle in the middle, like a disc. What does that black part do?
Yeah, so this portion is an ink. This is made of like a light charcoal. It basically, the resonating sound, it dabs the resonating sound. So if I play, it'll just stop that sound. So it helps in various forms of music notations.
Thank you. And so Joyji, when did you start learning tabla?
So I started learning when I was 10. Now I'm 40. I'm still learning. And fun fact, I'm still learning from the same teacher whom I started when I was 10. So there was a gap, and then it started all over again during the COVID, online classes, and that's it. He's back in India. So yeah, it's an amazing experience so far. I'm still learning.
Thank you so much. And can you tell us, I've heard that the tabla can produce sounds of the natural world. Can you show us a little bit?
Yes, correct. So that's interesting. And it can talk to you, it can speak to you. And any music instrument is, we believe, like it's a way of communicating with the God. So these are a way of communicating with the God. As I said, like it can play a song on itself. And let's see if you can guess this song. So it can communicate. It can make some bird song. Like, these instruments historically, or in the medieval period, they used to take it to the jungle and forest and communicate with birds. So yeah, and if myths are to be believed, like, even they can call rain, like, by cloud song. And so yeah, it adds various sound effects coming in and communicate with different variations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Radhika, please tell us about the Veena. Hi. The veena is actually one of the oldest string instruments, multi-string instruments. This has 7 strings. It's typically made out of wood, either 1 or 2 pieces. This one's made with jackfruit wood, but you can also get sandalwood. It's hollow here. And this part is called the yali. It's a dragon's face inverted. And I'd mentioned, this is, the dragon face used to be actually facing upwards in the original veena, but when instrumentalists played it, it was supposedly spouting fire, so they turned it the other way, so it stopped. And this part is called the kodam. Its only purpose is so that I can rest it on my lap while playing the veena.
Thank you. Radhika, so why'd you choose to play the veena?
So I have, my family actually has a history of veena players. My grandfather, my great-grandfather, my aunts and uncles all play veena. My reason for choosing the veena was really because it's the instrument closest to the human voice. And because I don't sing well, I thought I should choose an instrument that sounds like a human being.
So when did you start learning to play it?
So I started to learn when I was 10 years old. And I learned for 10, 12 years from the same guru. Actually, I learned from the same teacher from the start to when I stopped. Her name is Srimati Leela Vittal. I actually recently found her online after years of looking for her. So and now I'm motivated after hearing Sujoy that I should probably start learning again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Anshruta, I get to ask you a few questions, but the first thing I would like to know is, did you also start learning your instrument when you were 10, or did you start earlier?
So I don't know. I think I'm a trailblazer because I started at 8.
Okay.
But yeah, I started when I was 8 with a different teacher. Now I learn from my aunt who lives in London, and I take online classes. And similar to my mom, I've stopped a little bit because junior year is kind of rough. But yeah, that has been the progression of my singing career.
And what kind of singing would you say that you are doing today? And what language are you singing in?
So this is Carnatic music, and it's technically classical music. And India, as it is a vast country of many different regions, Carnatic music originates from the south of India. And because there's so many different languages within the south of India, Carnatic music as well has many different languages. So many of the songs I'm singing today are in Tamil, Telugu, Sanskrit, and Kannada. And that is the way we sing in Carnatic music.
That's amazing. And is it correct that we might not ordinarily hear this combination of instruments?
That is true. So my mom and I, these are both South Indian instruments, but as Sujoy uncle is playing, this is a North Indian instrument, and you're not usually a thing that happens, but fusion is good. So
Fusion is good. So I'm wondering what other singers you might like to listen to, and who should we listen to?
I mean, I think everyone everywhere should listen to Taylor Swift all day, every day.
All right, I'm here for that.
But also Arjit Singh. If you like what you're hearing today, you should listen to Arjit Singh. I think he's an amazing artist. So.
Great, thank you so much. And I think we have time now for a little bit of a demonstration. Should we start with tabla first? Can you give us an idea of what it sounds like if it was a solo instrument?
Sure, thanks. So you'll be hearing both the instrument combine, and I'm not going to play Happy Birthday again, so let's see what we can try. Why don't we do some kind of jamming where you can help me to create some music? I'll play a few beats on the tabla, and if you can accompany me on the claps, so I'll guide you how to do that. But let's try something different. Yeah. So here it goes.
demonstration of what the veena would sound like as a solo instrument.
So generally the veena usually plays only melody. So whatever songs are performed by the Carnatic music artists, we will usually translate that onto notations which follow our do re mi fa pattern, which we call saregama or sargam notes, and that's what I usually play. So I'll play one song in it's called a raga mohanam, and I'll play in that song, and maybe Anshrita and Sujoy can join with me. That'll be great.
Gari sa sari ri ga gari ri sari gari sari sa da sari ga pa gari sari ga pa ga gari sari ga ri sa da sari gari ga pa da sa da pa gari ga ga pa da sa da pa da pa gari sari ga pa da pa da sa ri sa ga ri sa ri sa da pa gari sari ga ri. So that was Mohanam, and I sang the swaras, which are the equivalent to, I guess, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, or Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. So yeah.
Thank you so much. I'd like to call forward Madhura for our testimonial this morning.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Madhura Chako. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a tall, brown-skinned, black-haired Indian woman wearing festive Diwali Indian clothes. And thank you for this opportunity to share my story. 35 years ago, my husband, Varki, and I were dealing with a typical conflict in interreligious marriages. Varki was raised in Orthodox Syrian Christian tradition. They trace their lineage and ancestry back 2,000 years to St. Thomas, the apostle who sailed to Kerala with 80 other families to preach the gospel. Life and community centered around church, worship, prayer, long services, Lent, Easter, Christmas. They were all preceded with days and days of fasting. The Sunday greeting there is Palipoyo, meaning, have you been to church this morning? So Varki was the very first in his family, the very first ever to marry outside his community. So you can imagine the conflict. In contrast, my liberal Hindu upbringing was on the opposite spectrum of the religious spectrum. 3 generations ago, my great-grandfather, who was a doctor from the Grand Medical College in Mumbai, he confronted patients who rejected his medical treatment for prayer and voodoo cures. So he advocated beliefs rooted in, he advocated against really beliefs rooted in blind faith and superstition. So there was a lot of love and warmth in our family. Our large multi-generational family, we gathered for festivities and without occasion for food, fun, and laughter, but prayer and rituals was not part of it. But debates on did God made man or did man make God were more common. So Varki's mother was very frustrated with us. Who will say the last rites for you? She would ask us. So seeking compromise, Varki suggested exploring the Unitarian Church in Summit. So I thought that was the craziest idea because it wasn't his religion nor mine. But Varki had some exposure to or association. He practiced karate at the Unitarian Church in Amherst, Massachusetts, in the basement, and he would read literature in the lobby waiting for the sensei to arrive. So we showed up here on one fall morning and he marketed it to me. He said, it's the religion of Emerson and Thoreau, and many great American presidents were Unitarians. So he said, well, if you don't like it, we don't have to go, but let's try it. So we're here. So my skepticism dissolved at our very first service. And a member asked me, we were the only Indians at that time present here at the service, and a member asked me, have you read the Bhagavad Gita? I had not. He had. So the diverse interests within the community really surprised me. Free and responsible search for truth and meaning, individual spiritual growth and self-discovery, acceptance of diverse beliefs, interfaith dialogue, these concepts really resonated deeply. So Unitarian Church became the intentional choice. I have no doubt if my great-grandparents were alive, they would wholeheartedly embrace Judaism. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madhura. And as I said in the first service, thank you, Varkiti, for your marketing of Unitarian Universalism. In a moment, our offering will be most gratefully received. And as we receive our offering, I would invite all of our children. We're going to gather in Fellowship Hall for some continued learning about Diwali, and then you're going to come join us back at the end of the service in order to raise the garlands. And so now, beloved, we thank you for your generosity with your presence here this day as we take up our offering, which is, yes, most gratefully received.
పాదాబ్జములందు పదాంబులు చేర్చు పశుపతిని జ్ఞానము ధ్యానము స్నానము పానము తానము మానము అభిమానమనుచు కనికరమున చరణం పులుకను గొను శృతులన్ నుతుల శరణనుచు సాంబ శివాయనవే రజిత కిరి సారసారే కుని నామమంత్రం కోరినాను ని పదాబ్జమంత్రం దాసుడౌచిని కృష్ణుని కీర్తి కుని తేయని చోకన తుని నమ్ముకొని సాంబ శివాయనవే రజిత గిరి సా
Thank you. This small reflection is also known as how many times can Tuli say the word relationship? Somebody's got to keep count. A few months ago, I misplaced the second key fob for my car.
Sorry, no, a few weeks ago, not a few months ago.
No, it was a few months ago. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I misplaced the second key fob for my car. May I continue? Yes. I knew I couldn't have just lost it. It had to be somewhere safe. I checked jacket pockets, pants pockets, key bowls, my office. I even vacuumed my car. Imagine that. And then 2 weeks later, Robin came into my office, as we all tend to do. We're all in and out of each other's offices. And as I turned to face her, I glanced upwards, and there they were, delicately but purposefully hung on the coat rack behind my door. Lesson: even I, as an atheist, need to look upwards to find the keys. If you set about to find the key to Diwali, I can assure you, you will be stumped, no matter how high or upwards you gaze, because there is no one key. There's a whole bunch of them. And our purpose here today is not to try and wrangle them into a cohesive whole, but to enjoy and celebrate the varied and rich tapestry that Diwali evokes. Beacon is in relationship with me and others who celebrate Diwali. It is also in relationship with people from different faith traditions. And the question before us is perhaps, how do we celebrate as allies so that we can stay in right relationship and ever deepening appreciation? We start first with understanding. Sometimes this means that we might consider the etymology of a word. Sometimes we try to uncover its historical roots. Sometimes it means asking our musical guests about the gifts they are sharing with us. As Unitarian Universalists, we're always questing and searching and wanting to know more. Dipavali or Diwali means literally rows of lamps. Deepa or Diya is light, and Avali means rows, so rows of lamps, Diwali or Dipavali. So this much we know about Diwali, and it is complex because India is not a monolith, as few things are in this world. Diwali is celebrated not just by Hindus worldwide, but also by Jains, Sikhs, and Buddhists. And I haven't lived in India or gone back for Diwali in 35 years, but in the secular India that I grew up in, Muslims and Christians were also part of the festivities. In fact, just yesterday, my father-in-law, who is also from the Syrian Christian community, like Varki, converted to Christianity by St. Thomas in the 1st century of the Common Era, said, "Nobody's brought me Diwali sweets, so I went shopping myself." Diwali lasts over several days, and each one has a separate focus. This past Friday, in my community, it was Dhanteras, a celebration in honor of Dhanvantri, the god of Ayurveda, who is supposed to have passed down knowledge about how to be healthy and understanding of our bodies. Within each community, ways of celebrating and the stories behind the celebrations vary greatly. In North India, Diwali centers around the triumphant return of Ram from exile after he vanquished the how many-headed demon Ravan? 10. The 10-headed demon Raman. In South India and East India, it is to honor Krishna's defeat of Narakasura. In the eastern state of Bengal, Durga is worshipped. And in some homes, goddess Lakshmi plays center stage. And where the chalice shows Lakshmi with 2 elephants on either side of her called a Gaja Lakshmi. On your way out, there's a postcard with more information on Lakshmi, and you can decorate lamps to take home with you. In Mumbai or Bombay, where I grew up, it is the start of the new year. For Jains, Diwali celebrates Mahavir's release from the cycle of death and realizing moksha. For Sikhs, it commemorates the return of Guru Har Gobind Singh after captivity. For Vajrayana Buddhists, it is the embracing of Buddhism by Emperor Ashoka. A friend of mine, originally from South India and living in New Delhi and practicing Buddhism, has quite the Diwali. So many religions, so many gods and goddesses, how to keep track and choose? Here enters another story. As you might have noticed, our musicians are barefoot or were barefoot, as am I. Okay, we got socks because of the temperature, but generally no shoes, right? Feet are considered to be the most unholiest and the holiest of things. You would not sit with your feet extended toward your teacher. You enter the temple barefoot, as well as the kitchen. You wash your feet before getting into bed, if you are lucky enough to have access to water. You don't pick up your instruments with footwear on. All Indian classical dance is performed barefoot, as is yoga. How many of you do yoga? I hope you don't step on your yoga mats with shoes. Barefoot, right? Yoga is done barefoot. The list goes on. And to punctuate the point, to show respect to an elder, a teacher, someone whom you hold in high regard, you bow down and touch their feet. I resisted this greatly when I was young, bristling at the elbow nudges in my side, particularly when I was asked to bow to older men, as my resistance to patriarchy began young and is still well in place. A sermon about the patriarchy inherent in many religious traditions is for another day. You know, I say that often, right? So I've got a long list of sermons that I got. It is only in recent years, as my Buddhist practice has deepened, that I've come to understand that when you bow and touch feet, you are bowing to the qualities that the person represents and manifests. So you don't need to keep track of the gods and goddesses, and know that when you are bowing to them, you are bowing to the stories which hold lessons and the qualities these gods and goddesses represent. You don't have to believe, and bowing does not mean that you do. There is room for atheists and theists. To make sure we are in right relationship to those who celebrate Diwali, we must take care to include and invite our members of South Asian and Hindu lineages. We take great care to honor our Christian and Jewish roots. Surely the broad theological tent we pitch today can embrace other faiths. Yes, yes, yes. If we were not inviting in the richness of Indian culture through music, but instead trying to find the answer to Diwali, imposing a white Eurocentric framework for cogency and coherence, then perhaps our relationship needs some work. Not like therapist work, but like work. We have been invited to engage and participate in an effort to deepen relationship and broaden inclusion. As Reverend Robin said in her sermon of October 8th, if you haven't heard it, go back. It's on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Did I do that okay? Yeah. It is about relationship first as an essential and starting point of accountability. When we accept the invitation, we deepen relationship and we can work toward inclusion. Just last week, and she's going to tell you about this next week. Is that on the calendar? Yes. So I have a little inside knowledge of what's going to come next Sunday. So you all need to show up next Sunday, okay? So just last week, Reverend Robin and other Beacon members participated in a sweat lodge at the invitation of our indigenous Ramapo Mansi Lenape friends. And you're going to hear more about it. You're all going to show up. And it's a perfect example of being in relationship, working towards inclusion and accountability. So what do we do with this invitation to collective celebration? Perhaps begin by asking people how they celebrate and who and what they are in relationship to, particularly in regards to Diwali. It was so good to hear of Madhura's journey. Maybe at social hour, ask her how she celebrates Diwali in her home. Perhaps ask those who have invited you, how they might feel if you fill in the blank. If you ask me to teach you how to wear a sari, I'd say sure, and why. And if you told me you wanted to wear it on Halloween, I'd say no, maybe not. It's not a costume. But if you told me you'd been invited to an Indian wedding and the mandate was festive, formal Indian wear, as it sometimes is, I'd tell you, yes, sure, I'd be happy to show you. And there are many other alternatives to wear the sari. When Reverend Robin went with Beacon members to Far East Asia, to the Khasi Hills and our sister congregations, they were gifted with traditional garments. Many hilarious video calls ensued with lots of, how do I actually do this and where does this piece go? The people presenting them with those garments would not have done it if they did not intend the garments to be worn, right? You almost thought of wearing it today, right, Robin? Like too many safety pins. Too many safety pins were involved. So she'll save it for another day. Perhaps some of us want a clearer and more robust granting of permission. When we invite you to celebrate with us, we are extending permission. So let's accept that which has been extended and know that the invitation is an opening for deepening relationship. And I hope everybody knows that truly the key to happiness is not money or possessions, but relationships. Let us begin. So may it be. Amen, Ashe, and Namaste.
All right, now we're all going to have a chance to learn a tune. Anshuta is going to teach us, and she will be singing the phrase with the original language, and then we're just going to echo it back. We can sing la la la, you can hum the tune. We just want to be able to participate in learning a new melody. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this?
So this is a bhajan, which is a little bit shorter than the song that I just sang. And it is about the goddess Meenakshi, which directly translates to eyes like a fish. And it is meant for goddess Parvati, who is the wife of God Shiva. Mom's gonna do the Arohanam, Avarohanam, which is the going up scale and then down.
Tuning instruments is always a huge part of playing an instrument. It's true of our piano as well. Especially these instruments that are made out of wood and that are holding strings in tension. They need to be retuned often.
Okay, sorry. Now you guys can sing. Okay. Nale Meenakshi Sundare Swarasakshi Shyamale Meenakshi Sundare Swarasakshi Shankari Guru Guha Samudbhave Shiveva Shankari Guru Guha Samudbhave Shiveva Pamara Mochani Pankajalochani Pamara Mochani Pankajalochani Padmasanavani Hari Lakshmi Vinute Sambhavi Padmasanavani Hari Lakshmi Vinute Sambhavi Shyamale Meenakshi Sundare Swarasakshi Shyamale Meenakshi Sundare Swarasakshi Shankari Guru Guha Samudbhave Shiveva Shankari Guru Guha Samudbhave Shiveva.
Thank you.
The kids are right on cue. They have come back with garlands that they're draping across the second floor windows. You'll notice the first service did the first level windows. So these garlands are what we put at the entryways in order to make the space more welcoming, auspicious, and to invite in sort of generosity and abundance and light, which is what Diwali is all about. Nice timing, guys. I'm proud of you.
Jakshani Nedabasi Chala Marulu Konadi Rachelia Nela Ravate Mira Chiluvu Daina Shri Venkatesha Gari Gari Sari Ni Sari Gari Ri Sani Ri Ni Gari Ni Sari Pa Ni Sari Ga Pa Gari Sari Ga Pa Ni Ri Ga Pa Ni Sari Ga Pa Pa Ni Sari Ga Pa Ni Ri Ga Pa Ni Sa Ri Ri Sa Ni Pa Ni Ga Ri Sa Ni Pa Ni Sari Ga Pa Ni Sa Ri Ga Ri Pa Ni Sari Ga Ri Ni Ri Ga Pa Ga Ri Sa Ni Sari Sa Ni Pa Ga Ri Ga Pa Ni Ga Ri Sa Ni Pa Ri Sa Ni Pa Ga Ri Sari Jala Ja. Sati Dora Ane Ga pa sa ni re sa ga re pa ga ni pa sa ni re re ga re ni pa ga pa ni sa re ga pa ni sa re ga pa ni sa ni ga re sa ni pa ga re ni sa re ga pa ni sa ti do ra a ne ga na sa ni re sa ni pa ga re sa re ga pa sa ni pa ga re sa re ga pa ni sa re ni pa ga pa ga re sa re ni ga re pa ga ni re ga pa ni sa ni pa ga pa re ga pa ni sa re pa ni sa re ga ni sa ni ga re ni pa ni ga re ni sa re pa ga re sa ni pa ni sa re sa pa ni pa ga re sa ni sa re ga pa ni sa ti do ra a ne ga na ni.
Thank you so much. You are invited to rise and grab a hand or shoulder across the aisle while Pablo leads us in our benediction. There are snacks, Diwali themed snacks downstairs. If you have an allergy, please read the list of ingredients. And Becoming, which is a series for new people interested in this congregation, is going to be in the library, which is upstairs. Ask somebody where the library is and they'll guide you, which is upstairs right after the service. Please, Pablo.
Brethren, on this wonderful Diwali, this festival of lights, stoke that light and fire within yourselves, share it with one another, and use it to banish the darkness of ignorance, greed, and malice within ourselves, within our community, and especially within our world. May you all go in peace.
Radhavenu Gopala Rajita Sadguna Jayashila Sarasakshani Ramini Marubada Kulvale Radhavenu Gopala Rajita Sadguna Jayashila Nanda Gopala Paluka Bunaluga Kura Karivarada Mari Marina Yadara Mugro Larakani Karamugara Ravenu Gopapala Rajita Sadguna Jayashila Rana Garara Murahara Bhavahara Ravira
We are going, heaven knows where we are going. we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there.